Teaching number 158. May the divine light of my spirit be among you. Be welcome, beloved disciples, who come like meek sheep to the call of the Good Shepherd, and if after finding you inside the fold, one dares to jump the fence, I will leave the others in good care to go in search of the lost one, because it is my will that not one of my sheep should perish. I am watching over everyone, I am giving your heart my peace and light to your understanding, so that you continue on the right path, and if you ever abandon it, forgetting the one who has given everything to save you and with him which you lived and comforted yourselves with its warmth, truly I tell you, my charity will follow you everywhere and my voice through your conscience will be calling you incessantly. You cannot fail. I have made clear to you the law that you must follow. You cannot deceive yourselves because you have a conscience that accurately judges each one of your acts, which tells you what is lawful and what is not. Know that if you disregard its advice, your actions will accuse you. Once again I tell you, know yourselves so that you can know your brothers. Prepare yourselves so that you may be strong, because my new apostles will not be weak, nor will they fall by the wayside after a short walk. They will be the ones who are firm enough to demonstrate that they can lead the multitudes with their examples, their words, and their thoughts, inspiring confidence. You all have gifts to be true guides of hearts and spirits in the future, and even the disembodied beings who live in turmoil, you will be able to free them from their darkness by guiding them towards the light. This mission is delicate and I make it clear to you through every spokesman. If anyone strays from the path due to lack of understanding in my work, I will call upon him again to make him see that whoever has made a pact with God cannot go back on his path of evolution. I speak to your spirit, for which everything was darkness before recognizing me, but since the Father manifested himself on your way you were convinced of the charity and love of the divine Spirit that in 3 times has been limited, in 3 different but perfect phases, to make himself comprehensible to the spirit of man. Some want to seek the truth in other ways, to them I say, if you have reason to search, do it, but search well. Others feel that they do not have to separate themselves, because they understand that they are within the Father's family, without whose presence they could no longer live. No one will be able to take care of you like me, no one will lift you up with such love when you fall on the path. I am the only one who illuminates the path of life for you. Come to me, my beloved ones, as I come to you, with elevation, love and purity, that all your acts carry spirituality and you will experience an ineffable joy. Years of trial will come and in the midst of it you will have to fulfill your mission. That mission will consist of helping your brothers who suffer, forgetting about yourselves. Do not be offended if your nation is judged by others as inferior, show that before my love and under my law you are all equal. May your spirit be clearly reflected in your works and from your understanding lessons and explanations will spring forth about the errors of men in their different ideologies. I want you to meditate on everything I have told you so that you keep this teaching and through it you may be strong on your way. I do not come to trace you a different path in this time and I can tell you as in the second era in Solomon's temple, I do not come to abolish the law but to fulfill it, because I saw that the doctors of the law did not understand it, and that is why they were misinterpreting my word. I, the Word, incarnated in Jesus to teach humanity a doctrine of love and justice, which started from the law delivered by the Father to humanity in times past, and the teaching of spirituality that I am revealing to you at this time, is to teach you the fulfillment of the doctrine of Christ, so that the Spirit climbs the peaks of knowledge and spiritual truth. Humanity, spiritually, is divided into religions, sects, doctrines and ideologies and I will demonstrate the power of my word uniting them. Although I have already told you that before this happens, the world will purify itself and the spirits will shake like the forests at the blow of the hurricane. Watch, because you, although ignored and humble, possess the light with which you can free from darkness those who walk among you as blind, showing them a clear sky and a better future. Stop being the keepers of traditions and fanatical rites. Practice my word with purity, because I have told you that it will be the spiritual link that will unify peoples and races, because my word of love is universal law. For love of you and so that you understand to what extent I make you worthy of me, I communicate through your understanding, but the moment will come when this form of communication is no longer necessary and then the force of your elevation will bring your spirit closer to that of the Father so that you may hear from him his divine concert, the one that begins by telling you, love one another. Today I tell you, come to me and you will find peace. I have prepared these enclosures so that they are like trees that give you shade, and under them you follow my word. In the second era you listened to me in the valleys, on the banks of the rivers and in the mountains. In the temple of nature you were in ecstasy and you made communion with me. Today you will also look for those places, and there, far from the world that sins and denies me, you will feel the pure environment, saturated with essence, where everything speaks of me, and once free, your spirit will come to unite with the Father in a perfect communion. Many spirits are looking for me in various religions, sects and philosophies, and have asked me for the light to find the true path, the shortest one, and they do not know that I have come to manifest myself in this nation, in this form that you know. And I am leading you all to the light, because my love does not distinguish races or nations. You who hear me, prepare yourselves, transform yourselves, so that you may be my instruments in the work of love, peace and elevation of the Spirit. Through you will come forth the prophetic word, the word that heals and comforts. Do you want to serve humanity? The fundamental laws that I have given you are, love for the one who created you and love for one another. All the virtues have as their principle the love of God and others. You have all sprung from me, with equal gifts. I have not distinguished one from another. Each spirit has the faculties and gifts to carve out its own elevation. Be strong, accept your restitution and collaborate in the work of the third era, so that you can see the establishment of my kingdom in the spirit of men. Climb, so that you may live in world superior to this one, where there is no suffering, until you have perfected yourselves and come to me. If this place offers you so much satisfaction and contains beauty and grace, think about the spiritual life that awaits you and from today approach it. I will allow you to contemplate from this valley, through visions, that wonderful life full of peace, love and harmony. I tell you once again, that in me all mankind will be saved. That blood shed on Calvary is life for every spirit, but it is not the blood itself, since it fell on the dust of the earth, but the divine love that is represented in it. When I tell you about my blood, you already know what it is and what it means. Many men have shed their blood in the service of their Lord and for the love of their brothers, but have not represented divine love, only spiritual and human love. The blood of Jesus does represent divine love, because there is no stain on it. In the Master there was never a sin, and of his blood he gave you to the last drop, to make you understand that God is everything for his children, that he gives himself completely to them, without reservations, because he loves them infinitely. If the dust of the earth drank that liquid that was life in the body of the Master, it was so that you would understand that my doctrine would fertilize the life of men with the divine irrigation of his love, his wisdom and his justice. The world, incredulous and skeptical of the words and examples of the Master, fights my teaching, saying that Jesus shed his blood to save humanity from sin, and that despite this, the world has not been saved, that sins more every day despite being more evolved. Where is the power of that blood of redemption? Men wonder, while those who should teach the true concepts of my doctrine do not know how to satisfy the questions of those who are hungry for light and thirsty to know the truth. I tell you that at this time, the questions of those who do not know have more substance and greater meaning than the answers and explanations given to them by those who claim to know the truth. But I have come again to speak to you, and here are my words for those who think that that blood reached the ransom of sinners before divine justice, of all those who were lost and condemned to torture. I tell you that if the Father who knows everything had believed that humanity was not going to take advantage of and understand all the teaching that Jesus gave them in his words and works, he would certainly never have sent him, because the Creator has never done anything useless, nothing that is not destined to bear fruit. But if he sent him to be born, grow, suffer and die among men, it is because he knew that that radiant and fruitful life of the Master would remain marking an indelible path with his works, as an indelible mark, so that all his children would find the path, that it would lead them to true love, and that, fulfilling its doctrine, it would lead them to the mansion where their Creator awaited them. He also knew that that blood that spoke of purity, of infinite love, when spilled to the last drop, would teach humanity to fulfill with faith in its Creator the mission that would elevate it to the promised land, where upon presenting its fulfillment can tell me, Lord, everything is finished. Now I can tell you that it was not the hour that my blood was shed on the cross that marked the hour of human redemption. My blood remained here, in the present world, alive, fresh, tracing with the bloody footprint of my passion, the path of your restitution that will lead you to conquer the dwelling that your Father has promised you. I have told you, I am the source of life, come to wash yourselves of your stains so that you walk free and safe towards your Father and Creator. My fountain is of love, inexhaustible and infinite, that is what my blood spilled at that time speaks to you of, it sealed my word, it signed my doctrine. Even in the desert I gave my people a symbol, although I had entrusted them with my law, the manna. At this time you have another manna, it is not the same one that materially fed the people. You also have my blood, even if it is not that which flowed from the wounds of Jesus. I am in spirit and you in spirit are hearing me. You are nourished by my word, which is the bread of eternal life, and you purify yourselves by putting my teachings into practice. Now understand that to achieve your salvation, you must also do your part, which is to love and impart charity to your brothers and sisters. I have given you my blood, know how to receive it. If the mere fact that I had given it to you were enough to achieve salvation, truly I tell you that no one would sin anymore, that the earth would no longer be necessary for the expiation of sins, because then all men would already be dwelling in glory. I want you to make yourselves worthy of reaching the Lord, by your own merits, because being conscious beings, you deserve to enjoy the infinite grace, the ineffable joy of having reached the bosom of the Father, because you knew how to love Him and you also loved His children, who are your brothers. Upon my merits build yours. They trace the path for you, they lead you to the highest of the Spirit, there where there is light, peace and true life. Here is the teacher, who comes to give light to your understanding with his divine lessons, because you are in the era of light. You respond promptly to my call demonstrating compliance with my law, because you have confirmed that by practicing it you dignify yourself before your Lord. It is the universal law of love that humanity will know and live, it will change the face of the world, transforming troubled men into men of high morals. I am making use of the sinners themselves, taking advantage of their will to regenerate themselves to give examples to the world. Do not be surprised that I communicate through the sinner, since I have not come to see his sin, but his longing for salvation. If you see that I find myself even in the smallest beings of nature, how can I ignore you and separate myself from you, just because you have imperfections, if that is when you need me the most? I am life and I am in everyone, that is why nothing can die. Analyze, so that you are not bound to the form, quiet your senses and find me in the essence. From now on, when you are still incarnated, I want you to know the faculties of the Spirit so that you know how to love me, that your worship be worthy of me, that is how you will feel me inside and outside of you. There are many doctrines, religions and sects, they all tend to look for me, but I tell you, the path where everyone could find me is the one where they least look for me, that of love, which means truth, charity, elevation. I use less and less of the figurative sense and parables, because it is time for you to understand me through this humble and simple word. It is not yet the light of your faith that illuminates your path, even though it should be so, it is the explanation of my revelations and mysteries that allows you to distinguish good from evil. But the light of faith will light up in you and make you see clearly. Remember that I have told you that you will have to save many of your brothers. Do not fear tomorrow, tomorrow is I, and in it you will also find me. Who better than you to understand and alleviate the sorrows of your brothers, if they are the same ones that you brought before me and from which you are purifying yourselves? I will leave you prepared for the consolation of troubled hearts. See how I have helped you understand and carry out the delicate mission that you received from your Father from eternity. Do not fear, that if you believe in me and trust in me, you will succeed. Remember that man who approached me in the second era, to tell me, Lord, I believe in you, and I come to ask you to give health to my father, who is dying. I know that if you say so, he will heal. Then the master, seeing so much faith in that one, told him, Go, that when you arrive at your home, your healthy father will come out to meet you. So it was. This is how I want your faith to be, and that when you contemplate the miracle, you return to the Father to give thanks. You do not know peace, nor true love, and I want you to know my peace and carry my love in your heart. All of you who yearn for a better life, all of you who live tormented by the confusion that reigns in the world, unite in prayer, so that you begin to attract my peace to earth. Try to put my doctrine into practice, so that my word makes you feel how love begins to reach hearts again. Go preparing for the arrival of my kingdom among you, be as emissaries and precursors of my peace. Evil, which is the summation of all human sins, vices, and ignorance, has reigned over men for a long time, but it is my will that now they themselves destroy that power. For this I will help you, I will lend you my sword, so that with it you can defeat evil. That power will fall shattered, its influence will be rejected from all hearts, its voices will be unheeded, and its directions will no longer be obeyed. The spirit will be emancipated and will be above sin, matter will finally bow down and the passions will become contained. Experience, persuasion, light and serenity, as fruits of the spiritual evolution of men, will be the fertile land where my seed descends. I will reign then, but it will be in your heart. The peace of the peoples will be entrusted to you and I will inspire you from infinity. Race differences will begin to disappear, the obstacles, until today considered insurmountable, will finally be overcome with reason, equity and good judgment will be in human works and each man will live in vigil so that the peace of the world is not disturbed. The bitterness and the pain will leave an indelible memory in the spirits and that pain, that memory, will be like a ghost that men will fear, as until today they have feared death. But humanity wants even more proof and it will come. From these tests many hearts will come out clean and many of the spirits free. The war of ideas, you have not suffered it yet, it is necessary that it arise and spread, so that those who are asleep wake up and those who are parked, get out of their routine and advance along the path of restitution. My name and my word will be taken as weapons and with them men will be wounded, but I tell you that it will not be my name or my word that hurts or kills, but it will be the intentions with which men wield them. In the end, you will all be defeated by my doctrine, by my love, because from my word the light that the world needs will spring forth, to believe, to know and to be saved. Prepare yourselves, because the responsibility of those who have received my word at this time is very great. It seems strange to you everything that is happening between you at this time. Men and women feel the awakening of their dormant gifts, they hear voices from beyond, they see spiritual visions, they have prophetic dreams, they shudder under the influence of unknown forces, they feel their previously dull mind become clear and they can analyze the profound lessons, the poor of speech, recreate themselves with the light of inspiration, the possessed are freed from their burden and discover that they possess the gift of communication with the spiritual world, the voice of the Lord, makes itself heard by the most prepared, others perform prodigies with the sick to whom they give health by divine mercy. Before all these prodigies there has been joy among all these multitudes who thought they had been abandoned by my charity and suddenly they have discovered that their spirit was full of gifts. It has long been announced to you by the mouth of a prophet that this era would come. The time that Joel prophesied to you has come, but I must warn you that those gifts that you have now seen emerge from your being, were not given to you until now, they have been undergoing a transformation along with you since the beginning of your spirit and now, in this time, I sent you to earth to reap the fruit of your evolution. The spirit of Elijah came to open this era by touching the understanding of man with the ray of light that exists within him, the door through which my light, made word, would later come to pass, to give broad teaching to the multitudes and leave my word as a testament and path for a new time. Elijah was the one who first made himself heard through the human spokesman, to announce the proximity of my spiritual presence among you and that he would remain as your spiritual shepherd, even after my communication had ceased. It is necessary for Elijah to continue leading you, because you will not be able to understand everything that I come to teach you by yourselves. Elijah will restore the teaching that I gave you from the earliest times to its true meaning. He will enlighten you so that you find the true interpretation of my revelations. It will touch every spirit and every heart, to awaken them to the light of this new dawn. He will also purify you from all the stains and errors that you have mixed with the gifts that you have manifested, because you must not think that you have acted with perfection and that all your work has been aligned with the truth. I have marked the year 1950 for the completion of this form of communication by human understanding, but this will not mark the completion of the development of the various gifts that you possess. On the contrary, later, in the absence of my word, your spirit will seek my light, my presence and my inspiration, it will strive to reach it, perfecting itself more every day. Give testimony of me, with your gifts, applying them to the fulfillment of virtue, to spiritual advancement, to achieving peace for your brothers. Be vigilant, because a moment of weakness, a step taken without meditation, a test that makes you falter, can divert you from the right path, from the path of truth, to make you lose yourself along paths of apparent light that lead you away from your fulfillment. My peace be with you.